Doreen Granpeesheh is the
Dr. Doreen is an expert in autism.
Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh.
Dr. Doreen Granpeesheh is a visionary in the field of autism. Now you can ask her questions on Ask Dr. Doreen. Our fabulous Johanny, we're saying hello to you in Philadelphia. She wrote in and said, and you were talking about reinforcers before, about how important they are. She wanted to know last week, Dr. Doreen, how do we teach different reinforcers? I want to give him other things to work for besides snacks and computer time. It's a great question, right?
It is a great question. It's a really good question because the answer that I give you will not be what you expect.
Okay.
So this is one of the things I like about ABA, or like the polished version of ABA, because ABA over the years has changed, right? And so reinforcers, when we think of things that are reinforcing, we, as parents, we start first to like list things that we think are rewarding to us and that are appropriate, right? And you kind of have to tear that list apart and just put it away, tear it up, because a reinforcer, by definition in ABA, is something that increases behavior, that motivates. And that does not necessarily mean that it's going to be something that you find reinforcing. So reinforcers can be things that are not wouldn't even come to our minds, right? Like I used to have a child whose major reinforcer was he loved having water splashed on his face. That was like a thing. He would giggle and laugh, and that was like something he waited for. Whereas generally speaking, spraying water on someone's face is pretty aversive.
Yeah.
So for him, though, it was like the thing that he wanted. So
Yeah.
you have to realize that everybody has different reinforcers. And as a parent, I totally agree with you that we don't want to over sugar our kids. So you do want to have some snacks that are healthier for sure. Fortunately, nowadays, there's like everything possible. There's sugar-free, gluten-free, everything that's possible. You can have anything that you want. But remember that it has to be reinforcing for the individual. So you might think, hey, I don't want to spend that much time on the computer.
Right.
And why don't I do TV? But the child has absolutely no interest in TV. So what I really recommend, and one of the things we used to have, I think we may have at some point put it on autism-live, we can do it again, on one of our websites, was we had this huge list. It was like 5 or 6 page long list of possible reinforcers. And you could choose from those based on what your child desired, right? So, and there were things that might not come to mind. For example, swinging would be a reinforcer, or putting on music could be a reinforcer, or I don't texture type stuff. Like using a one of those massage thumping things.
Yeah,
that could be a reinforcer. So I think we need to get that list back up, and then what you do obviously is if you start. Let me just put it this way. If you start getting into teaching a child to use a different reinforcer, it's not a reinforcer. Reinforcers are not taught. They are natural things that are enjoyable for the individual. Now, that being said, as I said that, I realized there are certain things that our kids don't have experience with and therefore don't know that they're reinforcing. And once they do experience it, for instance, a child might be scared of one of those massage tools, and as soon as they feel it, they might be like, oh, I really like this, right? Or certain foods. They might have an aversion to certain foods, but once they try them, they'll be like, oh, this is great. So you do have to try things, but honestly, if your child doesn't find that thing enjoyable, then move on. Find something else in the universe that they do like.
Yeah, I miss when we used to have the big old school toy stores where you could take your child and you could put them in the cart, and what I would do is just start throwing toys into the cart, and I would see what he would play with, which is a way that you see what they sort of like. Now they still have the small Astra stores that are the mom and pop stores, And they're great because they will allow you to come in and play with everything. I would tell you to
Right,
find an
right.
Astra store near you. It's different. You can't just throw, it's like, it used to be private. You could just throw it in the cart and walk around and
Yeah.
nobody would bother you. Now they're going to be right there going, hey, try this.
Yeah.
But that's its own form of wonderful. So try that. Go ahead.
I just want to say you just did an incredible toy drive, which is one of the most, like, the value of all this work that you put in, Shannon, aside from, I know you, part of it is the joy of giving toys to kids, which
It
is
is.
incredible, but you put so much time into this.
Too much.
And I have to say, part of the value is just the manual that comes out of it.
Yes.
And being able to look at that, I looked at that the other day and I was like, it's unbelievable. Like, there's so many good toys, and you've listed them, described them, suggested the type and age of child that might benefit from this, things you can do with them. I mean, that's that's like looking at the Sears catalog of toys, you know. I love it.
It is.
So
I take
that's
great
very
pride in it.
helpful as well.
And you can find the toy guide by going to autismnetwork.com and click on where it says toy guide. If you hold that, it'll take you directly to where it age norms things. I always say start with the age of the child or the adult, the age that they are. Look at what's available there because we tried to put a wide range of things there, but then go look at everything else because there are certain toys that, and we're going to show you in just a second, one of my favorite toys this year and last year, the Shishibo, and it's like, which age category do we put it in? Because it could fit in so many of the different categories. But it's this kind of a thing. So I just was at our Sensitive Santa this week, and it's so funny because it's one of those toys that people look at and it's small. So people go, what's that? I'm not sure that I want that.
Yeah.
And then I would crack it open and everyone, it was like it would stop traffic and everyone, can I play with it? Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I want to, like, it's so cool. And you wouldn't know that it was a reinforcer until you play with it.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at, we want you guys to see what the Shishibo is from Fun and Motion Toys. Look at this.
Best-selling brain teaser puzzle on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And guys, they're a magnetic shape-shifting puzzle. You can create 70 different shapes with these, and they're part brain teaser, part puzzle, part fidget toys.
I think one of the advantages of the Shishibo is that it combines the characteristics of some of the most successful toys. It has the stackability and combinability of Lego. It has the magnetic properties of Magnetiles, and at the same time, the transforming problem-solving aspect of a Rubik's Cube.
This thing, I just love it.
You left one at my house last year, and it's still on the kitchen counter because everyone who walks in like picks that thing up and starts to play with it. It's like, remember when the Rubik's Cube came out and how it was a craze, like everybody was doing it? This is one of those toys. It's
Well,
fun.
and they've got other toys too, so check them out. Fun and Motion Toys. What I especially love is that they gave us a special discount just for our viewers. So if you go to their website, funinmotiontoys.com, and pick out whatever toys you want, and they have other amazing things. I'm waiting. I ordered my husband something. It's called a Wandini. If you know my husband, it's the right toy. My husband is 65, and I'm ordering toys for him.
I love
But if you go on the website, and when you go to order, when you go to your cart, like on any website, there's a discount code place. I always want to be hooked up.
Yes.
Well, let's hook you up. So if you put in LIVE, L-I-V-E 5, you get 5% off of your total purchase, which is really wonderful. So, Dark Angel, I'm so excited because I couldn't remember what the second question was, and I thought it was something else, but it's about pronunciation. Don't forget, you can watch Ask Dr. Doreen live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. We hope to see you there.